Igor was sharing with us that I work a lot, or most of the time, on Liferay as a consultant. I would say like around 8 to 10 years. And during this period, I learned a lot how to deploy Liferay in different types of infrastructure. And we use part of this knowledge to shape the product, the product that I am about to explain a little bit for you guys. So the goal of this workshop is go through the process of migrate a Liferay DXP project to DXP Cloud. So right now, most of you, or if not all of you, have a Liferay project, but are not running on DXP Cloud, I'm pretty sure. And my goal here is share with you guys what are the processes to go from on-prem or to even a cloud or Amazon to DXP Cloud, right? So let me, okay. This is the project that we are going to migrate to DXP Cloud. It's a very simple page. Like I built this project or site with some random content. The goal is just to like share with you guys how this process works, right? And I'm gonna put some the agenda here, or some of the steps that we have to move forward in these steps, right? I have two guys here with me, Zeno and Johnny. They are aware how this process will work. So if you guys have problems, I will ask them to help you during the process, right? So I will share some of the requirements, how to access the account. So you guys got paper with a number, right? So save this number to use in your account. We have 20 accounts provisioned, right? I think we are not 20 in the room yet, but we are 20, Zeno? A little bit, yeah, a little bit less. All right. So each of you can have access to one of the accounts. Save this number and use it to have access to the account, right? Then we're gonna get the source code. I have the code from the old project and the code for the new project, the project that will be running on DXP Cloud. It will be more clear later on. Then from the step 4 on, we have some steps that we are gonna do it on top of DXP Cloud, and for that you have to have the credentials and everything. Okay. So some of the requirements: internet connection. So I am pretty sure if everybody have that already. A Git command line or any Git client, and a GitHub account. Okay. So if you need help, again, Zeno and Johnny can help you guys to set up the GitHub account or even a Git client. Or you guys can, like, it's a workshop, so you can put your hands on the process. But if you just want to watch and see how it works, it's fine as well. Okay. So to have access to the account. These are the URL, the user and password. The X here on the user is the number that you guys have, right? So I create 20 accounts. All the accounts are workshop 1, workshop 2, workshop 3, and so on. So if you want to have access, use the number that you have with the password that is here. All the passwords are the same. Yeah, all the passwords are the same, so don't worry about the password. This slide, the link for this slide, it's on the README file that I will share with you guys on the source code. So don't worry if you are not able to get all the information right now, because these information are on the readme.md. Okay. So let me go to the source code, And once on the source code, I will stop a little bit to let you guys know that we are everybody on the sync, in sync. So get the source code. Like I was sharing before, there is 2 source codes, right? Obviously, because we are migrating our old system, a system that is running on-prem, to a new system that's DXP Cloud, okay? So the old project is on this URL. This is important for you guys to have access. And we need to clone this URL to your local computer. Is it easy to get the, I think so, right? github.com/gxpcloud/workshop-devcon 2019. So let me get this. Oops. So this is the project. There is some commits that I just created. Okay, yep.
Yeah, just one thing about that. It's probably easier to just fork the repository before you clone, because then you clone with the right repository.
Yeah, good catch. Okay. And the other source code that we're gonna need is this one. This is different for each of you. Like, it's pretty much the same path, but the end is workshop X, where the X is the number that you guys have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, so this is the new code, this is the new project, this is the repository that once you have a contract with DXP Cloud, we're gonna hand it that for you. Okay, so you start your project on DXP Cloud with this source code already built, I would say. It's a workspace with some extensions, I would say, for work on DXP Cloud. Okay. So with the 2 source codes, let me show you a little bit how the project is. So, okay. Let me close this one, this, okay. So this is the project. It's just 1-page project with some pictures from all the trips that I did with Pedro this year, and some random content, right? The idea here is just show you again how to move to cloud. We are not changing anything, not content. The idea is have this same page with the same content, the same pictures, but running on DXP Cloud. Right now it's running on localhost 8080. It's the project that I share with you. It's a Docker Compose project that I created as an example. But again, the goal is have this exactly same content running on DXP Cloud. Okay. So, and how we do that? So there is several steps, but we usually start with the data, right? Document library and database. Let's migrate database and document library to DXP Cloud and see how it works. But let me put my adapter here, because I think I'm gonna run out of battery in a few minutes. How many of you have access to DXP Cloud or have played with DXP Cloud already? Show your hands. Okay, all right. So let me show very quickly the product. So we'll be to put everybody on the same page. I think this is also important. Oops. Yeah, it's okay. I think you can. Just 1 second, guys. I have one here. Everybody have access here to this console. If you guys have problems, again, like Zeno and Johnny will be here, we'll be happy to help you guys. So this is DXP Cloud. Right now I am workshop 0, and I have like several environments here, 4 environments. Dev, UAT, production. These environments are located in London. For some of you are different locations. I created for environments on London, Frankfurt, Brazil, São Paulo, and Sydney. So depending on the number that you have, you are in a different location. But the way that it works is the same. There is no difference at all. Right, so I have the environments, I have the stats of the environments, the services, the members that is are part or are assigned to the environment, and the location. And here for one of the environments, if we go deep on the environment, we have more information regarding the services, the latest deployment, activities, alerts, location, and so on. Okay. We also have services. What is important here is that we have logs. This is something that we are going to use. Shell, metrics. So it's pretty much how it's a regular, I would say, environment works, but everything is on the cloud. Everything is here right on your browser. So you don't need to SSH any machines or remember password. Everything's available for you right here. So then we have a network that it's all the endpoints that we expose for each of the services. We have activities. That's kind of a timeline. Logs, it's the same concept that I presented before. Monitoring, we have information regarding CPU and memory, transfers as well for all the services. Here on backups, this is an important thing we're going to use in the first step of the process, of the migration process. We have several or a big list of backups. There is also team. Right now we just have one user. We are using the root user for this account. And finally we have settings that we can configure VPN or get or support access and other configurations as well. Okay, so this is just an overview very quickly, just to know where things are, so we can move forward. So, okay, right now that we decide that we need to do this migration, that okay, let's move to the cloud. First step is get our data, get the data that is running on our production servers, and migrate to DXP Cloud. So the process, it varies from project to project, because some projects use PostgreSQL or Oracle or MySQL. So the first thing that you need to do is do a conversion to MySQL 5.7. On DXP Cloud, we only support MySQL 5.7. And for that reason, you need to do this migration. For this workshop, I use MySQL 5.7 as the source database, because I don't want to do some migration of the database. This is the type of task that you can work with your database vendor to do this conversion, or our GS guys can help you guys during this process. Okay, And the other piece, or the second piece of data that we need to do the migration is the document library. But this is something that you don't need to do any conversion. It's just a matter of compact the document library, and then we will upload to DXP Cloud. One important thing is that here on backups, once we upload, once we have the backup from your old system, the backup will show up in this list. So once it shows in this list, we will be able to restore on any of the environments. So then we can use all the infrastructure of DXP Cloud to manage the data, or the data that we just imported. Okay. So you guys have access to this repository, right? And here on this repository we have the backup folder, where there is two files, database and volume. Volume is our document library, and database is our database. Okay? So with these two files, we need to upload them to DXP Cloud. Right? So I already did the backup and add to the project, so you guys don't need to do any backup. It's just a matter of upload these backups to DXP Cloud. But for show you guys how this works, let me do some changes here. I'm gonna put the right side on the left and the left side portlet on the right. Oops. Okay. So my project's a little bit different from the database the backup that you guys have. And I'm gonna do a backup right now. And okay. I'm gonna do a backup and use this backup, this new backup, as a source to upload to DXP Cloud. For you guys, you just need to trigger. Can you guys see over there? Yeah? Okay. So just use the upload.sh file to upload your backups. I'm gonna run a backup right now because I want to get the latest information, the latest data that is available on the production environment. Okay, so I just grab all the data from production environment, and right now I'm gonna upload to my project. So you guys need to use upload.sh and the number of your project. For me is 0. For you guys 1, 2, 3, and so on. So once you run upload.sh, it will start to upload the files that I just generated that you guys have access on your repository. So a few seconds later, we just created a new backup on our production environment. So let's see if it's available. This is the last 1617. So if I go back to DXP Cloud and go to backups, no, it's not here, but if we refresh, all right, 1617, right? So right now I just uploaded my backups from document library and database to DXP Cloud. And right now I am able to restore this backup on one of your environments. Does anybody have a problem until now, or are following? Do you guys need some help? Okay. So, okay, right now, the process of the data, it's pretty simple. You just need to use the regular wizard of DXP Cloud to restore this data on one of the environments. Let me open first of all Liferay here, just to show that it's different from what I have on my old environment, on my production environment. So here is production. Here's production, how it's running, and here is how it's set currently on DXP Cloud. There is some old content that I was testing, but you guys can see that it's different. They are different content on production and on DXP Cloud. So if I go back here, okay, this is important since you guys don't have access or experience on DXP Cloud. The way to access Liferay, it's through the web server. So you guys can go to production environment, services, then go to web server, and then you can click here on this label that will open Liferay, the Liferay on the production environment. So I'm going too fast, or no? It's okay? Alberto, for you it's easy.
Where did it get to get to the web server?
Okay, here on services. Then you can go to the web server, and on this label / endpoint. Okay, yeah, awesome. Because on DXP Cloud, Liferay is running, it sits behind a web server. In this case, is any jigs. So it's a best practice. We have this web server running as a proxy, and it redirects or reroutes all the connections to Liferay. So if I go to backups, so right now that we know that DXP Cloud, the current DXP Cloud server, it's different from what we have on production, and we just uploaded the latest backup that we got from the production environment. We are ready to restore this data on one of our environments. Let's restore on the production environment. That's the one that we are using, the Liferay DXP Cloud production environment. Okay. The process is pretty easy. Again, we just gonna use all the features that the platform already gave us. It's just click on restore on the backup here. And with the backup selected, we can choose the environment that we want to restore the backup from the list. So let's use production, because Johnny, can you help here? Let's choose production. Because the dev environment and UAT environment, they are password protected. So to make more simple the process, let's use production to do this restore process. And yeah, that's it. Like, select the backup, choose the production environment, and click in the blue button. So when we start this process, the platform will stop all the services that are running on this environment. So we are in the production environment here. So you guys can see that stopping services right now. So the platform is stopping. Liferay is stopping Elasticsearch, any jigs. Then it will clean up, it will delete all the data that is available on the on this environment. It will restore all the data based on the backup that was chosen. And once it finishes, it will start the services again. So you don't need to do anything. You just need to wait, sit and wait the process complete, right? And keep looking the logs. This is something like the feedback right now is not the best one. We have some tickets, I would say, or yeah, we have some tickets that will improve the process or the flow of this process. So giving a better feedback to the user, some UI improvements, so you don't need to look at the logs to see if something is working or not. It will happen, everything on the screen. So, okay, backups, all services started. Okay, let me check here, Liferay.
One question?
Mm-hmm, sure.
So what, you do have downtime for the engines?
Yes, for this, yes. Remember that we are moving from our on-prem project to DXP Cloud project. Right, so it's the same thing that if you are moving from your host providing, so you need to plan in advance, you need to be aware that probably you're gonna face some downtime. You can test this process, right, several times. You can test this on UAT, on the DXP Cloud UAT environment, and like timing how this works, and then you can do it on the production environment. It's very manual here, but it's for the purpose of demonstration. But there is we have some APIs that you can use to call and make this process more automated. But remember, it's something that you're gonna do just once. After that, you are not going to migrate to the DXP Cloud like every month or so, you know? Yes?
How do you do it in a cluster environment? So if you have 4 nodes cluster in production, how do you deploy to each node?
The deployment is the same. Like right now I'm running just one Liferay, but if I have 4 Liferays running here, it will be the same.
But the document library can change. So when you do the backup, so the document, and if the document library changes at that time, so I started 3 servers. So stopping one server, deploy to one, and all the loads going to the other 3.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, the database could change, the document library can change.
Yeah. Remember that this is a process like once in a lifetime, I would say. So you have to work with your business team or if your team to make sure that, okay, during this period, you guys are not allowed to update like documents or this type of things. You know, probably you're gonna set a maintenance window during this process to make the migration from on-prem to DXP Cloud, right? So looks like it's back. Let's test here. So remember, okay, this is the production environment of DXP Cloud, and yeah, it's exactly the same. It's not exactly the same because I am logging in there. So let me log out here. And yeah, we have the same content. Okay, for some reason this is a little bit different. Yep.
What was the backup step?
The backup step, there is a script called backup.sh, and you need to call it with the number of your account, sh space 3, 4, or so on. So this will upload the backups to DXP Cloud, to the production environment.
Okay. They don't do anything on the UI? Restore it?
Sorry, Johnny?
You don't restore on the UI?
No, it don't restore. It's just, this step is just to create the backup here. Later on, you need to restore. Then it's a normal process. Okay. So, yeah, right now we have the data from our production environment, from our old production environment, available on DXP Cloud, on our new production environment. Okay. So, yeah, like I was sharing with you guys, backup restore. So I'm sharing this presentation as a guideline, right? If you guys get lost, or in the future, if you decide, okay, let's move on to DXP Cloud, you can use it as a guideline, right? So, but just to visit the slides, we have some steps here, like backup your database, convert the database to MySQL 5.7. Again, this is a process that you need to work with or our GS team or with your database vendor to make this conversion. Then create a database.tjz file, backup your document library, create a volume file as well, and then you will upload these files to your account, to your production account. Everything that I'm sharing here, we already did. Yeah, the last step would be for backup and restore is trigger a restore process targeting production environment. Okay. So everybody's on this page. Like we were able to finish here. I'm pretty sure you guys have here it's the left side and here it's the right side. It's the opposite, right? I'm just sharing a different setup here for demo purpose. Okay. So can I move forward, guys? Any questions? It's working? It's not working? Or do you guys have any questions regarding the process? Okay, so let's move on. Hello, hello, okay. My battery died here. So I will try to do this with just one hand. 1 second. Okay, so like I was saying, we were able to migrate all the data to DXP Cloud, but we have also code and configurations, right? So for that, the process is pretty much the same, but we are going to use more the code or the terminal to do this. 1 second. Okay, great. So let me open here. Okay, let's do this to be more. Okay, projects, DXP Cloud, events, 2009. Okay. Hello, hello. Okay, it's working. Okay, it's this off. Right, thank you. Yeah, I won't be able to do it with just one hand. All right, so so here we have 2 projects. This is the old one. The first here is the old one, Workshop 2019, and here's the new one, Workshop 0. Okay, so I need to migrate some code and configuration that's available on the old project to the new project. Remember that this is not an upgrade. We are not upgrading from one version to another version. We are just migrating the same version that you guys have on the on-prem site, on-prem environment, to DXP Cloud, right? Right now, I'm using 7.2 general availability 1, so it's the same on both environments, and we will use the same code that are running on the old production environment on the old project to the new project. And the mapping, let me open here. Projects, cloud, events, 2018, okay. Okay, this is the new project and this is the old project. So the difference is, there is a lot of difference. So some of you guys use Maven, some of you use Gradle. On DXP Cloud, we only support Gradle. This is important information for you. But if you are using Gradle and you have all the configuration files and or LPKJ files, there is like places that you need to put your code or your jar files that will be picked up by DXP Cloud, and they will be available for you to deploy on the cloud. Okay. So the first thing here, we are on the old environment or the old project. The first thing that you don't need to take care of is license, right? So if you need to manage right now licensing on DXP Cloud, it's gone. You don't need to care about anything, right? So here, okay, on deploy we don't need to do anything. On OSGI there is a theme that we would like to make it available on the new project. So you need to copy everything that you have on the OSGI to the correct place here on LCP. LCP, it stands for Liferay Cloud Platform. And here on LCP we have several folders. Each of these folders represent a service that's running on DXP Cloud. So we have the backup service, we have the CI, we have database, Liferay search, and web server. Okay. For LPKJ files, we're gonna use Liferay and deploy in common folder. So common folder here, everything that we put on the deploy folder, it will be deployed as a regular component or a regular artifact on Liferay. Everything that is available on common, it will be deployed on all the environments. If we have something on dev, it will be deployed only on the dev environment, PRD, UAT, and so on. Okay? So, let's get our LPKJ file that's available here on Files, OSGI Marketplace, and copy to the common folder. Oops, not here. It's not. Okay. So that way, we will be able to deploy this team on the new project or on the new account on DXP Cloud. Okay. So this is one LPKJ. It's an artifact that are shared with us on the marketplace. But if you have code, how it works if you have code, if you have like your own modules, your own customizations, how does it work? We have a setup for that as well. So let me close here and open the workspace. Here, the workspace, we emulate, or I emulate a project that has a workspace, and there is a portlet called Smart Chat. Okay, so this is our SGI module for 7.2, and I will copy this guy to the modules folder right here. Okay, it's not going the right place. Okay, so Smart Portlet. Right? So I just copy marketplace apps and source code apps to the repository on DXP Cloud. So right now I should commit these changes. So I have here a command line, okay, a command line, I'm sorry, I have a Git client that I will add the changes. So remember that it was one team here that I just added. So let me add it from old project. And I will add as well the Smart Chat. Add to index. Add Smart Chat from old project. So what I'm doing here is just like copying from the old project to the new project. That's the goal. Right? Remember, we are just migrating same version, but on-prem project to cloud project. Right. Yeah? Yes. How to access the repository? Okay. The repository is available on this one. This is the old project, right? The new project is this one, is this repository. Okay, yeah, two repositories. The old one that contains the old data and the old format, and the new one, it's the workshop.
Can you show where you copied the file?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, let me. Okay, here on the old project, I kind of forgot to mention to you guys, but I'm using the official Liferay image. It's not a DXP Cloud image, it's an official Liferay image, the one that Jorge was sharing this morning with us. And this image, it contains a structure, a directory structure, right? That's pretty much what we have here. All these files here are available on your repository. So in the OSGI/marketplace/ on the OSGI/marketplace, there is a LPKJ file that you need to copy this guy to the LCP, Liferay, deploy, common, right here. LCP/Liferay/deploy/common, because this theme will affect all the environment. So it's important to put it on the common folder. Okay, this is for LPKJ file. For the source code, again, this is a workspace. I copy the module that we have as a sample, smart chat dash portlet. I copy the portlet to the modules folder. Here, modules folder. Okay, and I committed both on my project.
And which folder was the portlet?
Which folder was the portlet? It's modules. The source or the target folder, you mean?
The source folder.
The source folder, okay. Yeah, it's in the workspace, apps, smart chat. Workspace, apps, smart chat. So this is the source.
The whole folder.
Yeah, copy the smart chat dash portlet folder, the whole folder.
And the target?
And the target is modules.
You have already connected this repository beforehand to the DXP Cloud. Then you repository.
Yeah. This repository, it's already connected to the DXP Cloud.
When I have to create, I have to do my migration. I have to create a new repository that I have to connect to DXP Cloud.
No. You're gonna use this one as a starting point. We're gonna give you, okay, this is the repository that you need to start with, right? All the configurations will be there. All the connections between services and the setup will be there. So it's mandatory that you start with this repository, right? So later on you can move to, I don't know, GitLab or Bitbucket, but the Git repository is the niche Git repository is this one that we are providing to you guys right now. Okay. So okay, I copy two. Let me just commit one thing here. That it's already commit for you guys, but not for me. Settings.gradle. Okay, and the last piece of information that we need to do or that we need to migrate is the configuration files, like OSGI files or portal ext files and so on. So we have one portal ext file here that is on our old project, right? The file it's available on our old repository, and it's just a matter of copy the file to the correct place. The correct place is on lcp/lcp/liferay/config/common. Sorry. So copy here. But the thing is, these two files, since portal ext.properties has JDBC configurations, on the DXP Cloud this is already done for you. So you don't need to manage JDBC configurations, right? So we have duplicated information on those two files, and we need to remove the duplication. So let me open this portal ext properties. And here we have some configurations, right? I will remove the JDBC configuration files, configuration properties. and the rest I can leave as it is. Because if I open portal.properties, all.properties, I have here the information regarding JDBC. So if we add 2 twice, we're gonna have a problem. Okay, so this last part, the configuration is copy the portal ext properties to the new place that's on the common folder, then remove the JDBC configuration from portal ext properties. Okay, and then we can commit the changes. Add portal, add old portal.txt.properties from old project. And yeah, so we migrated artifacts that LPKJ from marketplace or from other vendors. We migrate source code. We migrate configuration files, and we are pretty much done with the migration. Like, it's a very simple migration, but it's the goal is again show to you guys how this works. And right now, you just need to push the changes to your repository. So I am pushing to my username on GitHub. Okay, and from there I'm going to create a pull request to the main repository. This pull request will be processed by DXP Cloud, and it will create a build. I will talk about build in a minute. Anyone need some help to get here? Can I?
2 commits to our workshop text.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, you are not allowed to do that. Did you clone your repository? Okay.
So that one, not the workshop one, workshop X one.
Sorry?
We forked the workshop that one 2019.
Yeah, the workshop 0, right? You guys forked this one. No?
No.
Yeah. You need to fork this one. Because like for not just for the demonstration, you need to fork. Like, if you guys take a look here, this is the original one that I share with you guys, and this is the one that I forked. So all the changes that I created, this is a Git Flow, right? It's not a DXP Cloud flow, it's more a Git Flow, but you guys need to fork the environment, then clone this forked environment, and push all the changes to your fork. And from this fork, that's the one that I have right here, I can send a pull request to the original repository, right? This is the way that like most of the time you are contributing to a project. You fork the project, you do your changes, you commit your changes, then you push the changes to your own version of the project and ask the maintainer of the original project to integrate the changes. Okay? This is more Git flow than DXP Cloud. You guys can use a different flow, like commit directly to the original project, but since to make it simple, this process, or more simple, right? We don't have access to the original project, original repository, actually. So I push the changes to my branch, to my repository, or to my fork, and from this fork, I can create a pull request. I will create a pull request to the original repository. So I will send all the changes to the let's send to develop branch. Okay. So migrate the view pull request. Okay. So I just send more commits to my pull request, and right now what happens? Our Jenkins, our continuous integration server, it's listening all the changes that's being made to the repository. Okay. So this is the DevOps part of DXP Cloud. So let me go back here and go back to the builds. So, okay, right now there is an important concept on DXP Cloud, that's builds and deployments. So we just create a set of changes, right? We commit all the changes, create tests locally, okay, everything is green, everything is good to go, and I push these changes to my Git repository. And once these changes are there, Jenkins are listening all the changes and it's processing. So it just processed all our changes and it created this build here, okay? It created this build here from what branch? From branch PR-1. So we just create a pull request. So the pull request is available here with this commit. Okay. If I click on this commit, it will open the changes that we just created. Okay. So it linked both DXP Cloud and GitHub code. And with this build, right now we are able to deploy on any place, on any environment. Okay, it's just follow the same wizard as it just follow the wizard to deploy a build to one of the environments. So just choose here deploy build to. And right now I can deploy this build to the dev environment, UAT environment, production environment. Since we are using the production environment to do that, I can select production and deploy the build that we just created, that we just, like we were processing, okay? So if we look in production, it is restarting some of the services. The other one already restarted. For instance, search, it already restarted. Database, it's okay. Liferay, it's running. Let's open Liferay here. Okay, deploying process. Actually, it's just start to deploy Liferay. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's deploying all the services. Right now we are going to see some a lot of log, maybe some errors as well, because it is stopping the service that we have on the environment and starting. Actually, it's starting a new set of services on the production environment, and once these services are available, it will shut down the old services. But our new services contains the modifications, all the files, the LPKJ, jar files that we created during this migration process. Any questions, guys? It's too hard, it's too easy. It's hard to keep up. Okay. Yeah, this will take around 5 to 7 minutes to finish. And let me sign in here. Oops. Oh, it's not this one. Okay. All right, just let me check if we have the widgets. Yeah, there is no smart chat or OSGI portlet here, so it's still deploying. So in the process that is deploying, our old Liferay is still running, so we need to wait until it. Okay, yeah, it's still deploying. We need to wait. Okay, let me go back to the slides just to move forward. Okay, backup. Then set up services. What we just did, like we copy modules, we copy teams if we have team, we copy configurations from the old project to the new project, or from the on-prem to the cloud. We can do the same thing for search. So imagine that you have search configurations for your Elasticsearch. There is, I don't know, you have an extra plugin or some VM configurations for Elasticsearch. So you can copy also these configurations to the search service. The same thing, it's valid for the web server. So imagine that you have Apache that has some URL rewriting or URL redirecting, or even if you are serving some static content on the web server. So you can do this as well on DXP Cloud. It's just a matter of move or reconfigure your project on top of the web server folder structure. Then we're going to start the DevOps part that we already started. We push out the changes to our Git repository. We create a pull request, a PR, and then we deploy the build that was created based on this PR on the production environment. Okay. And the last part of this process is test. So do some test and QA. I would say like test to validate if you have all the correct data, if you have the correct source code or the modules that you need to have on your new project, and do as well performance testing to make sure that everything has the same performance as before or even a better performance. Okay. So let me go back here to see how things are working. So we have some exceptions. This is because of the there is some UTF problems regarding the Japanese, I think it's Japanese encoding. But this is okay, it works. So let me filter by Liferay project, Liferay service. All right, all the instances. I think this is the old container. Let me refresh very quickly here. Okay, refresh it, and let's see if we have the widgets. Okay, yeah, that's right here. So The end goal is have this smart chat portlet available to add to the page. So this was part of the old project. We migrate the code to this new project, and it is available here to add to the page. Okay, so with that we did pretty much two things. We migrate data from the old project to the new project. We migrate code from the old project to the new project. And this, like, you finish the migration process to DXP Cloud, right? Yeah, guys, question. We are in the top of the hour, but if you guys have a question or, yep.
Kind of hard to learn, so I'm reading the question. Let's say I'm starting from scratch.
All right.
So I just have the Git repository of my on-premise version.
Mm-hmm.
I want to migrate my version on DXP Cloud.
Okay.
So I'm setting up my environment.
Okay.
The new repository, when will it be created, and when will it be linked to all the DevOps stuff that I have on DXP?
Mm-hmm. The repository, it's available to you in the day zero. So once you have access to DXP Cloud, like, you're gonna have access as well to the repository.
So it's something that will be provided to me once
Yes.
I'm creating my environments and all those.
Yeah, you don't create environments. We do. We create environments. So you don't have the ability, okay, I want to create a dev environment or a dev 1 environment or a master dev environment. You don't have this ability. You need to let our sales guys know that, okay, I'm gonna need like 5 environments or 6 environments or 3 environments. Then we will create that for you, right? And once you receive our onboarding email, you have everything that you need on this onboarding email. So it will, okay, this is your credentials, this is the URL that you have to access your account, this is the Git repository where it will be available. So everything's on the onboarding email. Again, for simplicity, I cut this part, but yeah, maybe it made more complex. But yeah, this onboarding mail has all the information, and once you start with everything already set. Everything that you guys see here or saw here on DXP Cloud is the resources that will be available for you on day 0 once you start to use DXP Cloud.
So saying to verify if I understand it correctly, once I have my Git repository that you have provided me, I clone it, support it, I can do my release there, then I
Yes.
request, and Jenkins and all the DevOps will
Yes.
make it possible for me to do auto-deploy.
Yes, yes, yes. You don't need to do any kind of configuration to have the DevOps or all the SDLC process in place. It's just a matter of, okay, I want to create a new team. You create your team, you commit this team and push to Git, and it will be available on DXP Cloud. Then you can deploy manually. The deployment right now is manually. If you are on the development branch and you commit something on develop branch, this will be deployed directly to the dev environment, right? So this is automation that we have. You can turn off this automation, but if you are developing something on the dev branch, it will be deployed directly on the dev environment. Okay? Sure.
Before an event, and we are expecting much more load on those servers. So what can we do?
Yeah, the first resource that we have is the scale capability, or the auto-scale capability, right? So right now it comes disabled, or for all customers, when you have access to DXP Cloud, it comes disabled. But it's just a matter of enable the auto-scaling, and the platform will start to keep tracking of metrics, CPU and memory, right? And if these metrics reach a a given threshold, right now I believe is 80% of usage, it will deploy a new container on this environment, on the production environment, right? Everything is automatically, you don't need to do anything. There is some requests to allow the user to deploy manually. Say, hey, I want to deploy one more machine on my environment. You can do that through the source code as well. If you, okay, I have one, but I need 3. You can scale on your source code, say, let me open here the LCP file. 1 second. Workshop 0, LCP Liferay. So here we have the LCP file. This guy contains several information regarding memory, CPU, and so on. So you can also tweak a little bit this. But if you use scale, like 3, the platform will deploy 2 new containers for you. But this will be charged extra on your contract, right? Ideally, you need to work with our sales guys, GS guys, to understand how much of containers you're gonna need, and then plan with this information. Okay? Question, guys? Any more question? So, this was pretty much what I was trying to share with you guys. I will be around today and tomorrow, so if you want to have more information regarding DXP Cloud, how it works, or even if you guys didn't understand one of the process here, I can sit down with you guys and go over the process again, right? Or even tomorrow, and yeah, I will be around. 2 things that I would like to share with you guys. Tomorrow we're gonna have a talk with Ryan. Ryan is one of our leaders on the IS marketing team, internal team in Liferay that is responsible for the Liferay.com website. It's a huge website with a lot of users, content, and a lot of complexity. And he will share with you guys how was the process to migrate from an on-prem setup to DXP Cloud, and in this same process he did the upgrade for 7.2. So he did a lot of things at the same time. It was a big challenge, but they succeed. And the other talk is regarding security with Johnny. It's also important since we are on the cloud. I'm pretty sure you, or even if you're a partner, your customers will ask you about security. From the calls that I have with customers, 110% they ask about security, how it works, what are our certifications. And Johnny will talk about that tomorrow. Right, Johnny? All right. And rate this session, and thank you guys.